What up, K-Rugs, the sober dog, coming at ya. Detoxing at home. I want to quit drugs. I want to quit alcohol. I want to quit Adderall. I want to quit Coke. I'm going to start tomorrow. I'm either going to wean myself down or I'm just going to quit tomorrow. I'm going to do it at home with natural stuff. Detoxing at home. Let's talk about it. You guys are freaking awesome. I love all you guys. Thank you for the love and support. The people that aren't subscribed, I'd really appreciate it. You get awesome, great Sober Dogs content all the time. So hit that subscribe, that like, definitely appreciate it. Detoxing at home. So if you follow me on any social media, you've probably seen, and I'm all over for the ones that don't know, Pinterest, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, whatever. You can find me on social media. I've been getting a lot of questions lately, people saying, you know, starting next week, starting this day, I'm gonna, detox from alcohol. I'm gonna detox from Adderall. I'm coming off opiates. What do you recommend? What do you think about coming off this drug, that drug? How long will this last? All these different questions surrounding coming off something at home, doing it on your own, detoxing. I have tried detoxing at home. I cannot tell you how many times I cannot tell you how many different substances.
I've tried it from crack, I've tried it from coke, I've tried it with oxys, and then again with heroin. I've tried it with alcohol, Adderall, weed.
Probably some more that I can't even think of, but different stages, different periods where starting tomorrow, I'm gonna actually do it. I'm cutting this off. Some of them I just said point blank like that, I'm done, I'm cutting it off tomorrow. Other ones it was like, all right, tomorrow, with weed, it was, I'm gonna smoke, just twice tomorrow. And then I'll do that for a couple days. And then on Thursday, I'll smoke just once, and Friday and Saturday. And then Sunday, I'll just cut it out and I'll be done with it. Here's the thing with detoxing at home. You have to be very careful of. The most important thing to think about is, depending on what substance you're coming off of, detoxing at home can be extremely dangerous. If you are detoxing from, like heroin, coke, meth, weed, some of those things, your chances of dying are very slim, pretty much non-existent, but they can still happen. There's medical problems, but the detox and the withdrawal is still miserable, and there can be multiple complications. If you're coming off benzos or alcohol, you could die from the detox, from the withdrawal. It can be lethal and is lethal in a certain amount, in a decent amount of cases, more than the average person would expect. So detoxing at home, no matter what the substance is, you have to be very careful. There's all the, you could have health problems you didn't even know about because you've been, people mask them with all the other drugs and alcohol, and then all of a sudden you start detoxing and I got a pain here, or my heart's not feeling right, my lungs aren't feeling right, this and that. That problem could have been there the last 3 years and gotten worse and worse and worse, but because I was using so much drugs and alcohol, it masked the pain and I didn't notice it until now that I'm detoxing. Things like that can pop up. And again, with the alcohol, the benzos, seizures, death can occur, major issues. So I would highly recommend doing it at a detox facility, at a rehab, or in a hospital setting with medical supervision. Second reason I'm not a big fan of detoxing at home is it almost never works. Point blank, people can argue this, and of course there's going to be an anecdotal case from somebody who's going to put it in the comments that they did it and it worked. And that's great. Good for you. I'm seriously, that's awesome. I'm so glad it worked for you and you're sober now. But for 99.9% of the people, it is not going to work at home. Every time I did that and said that and tried that, the following day, the withdrawal started to really kick in, whatever drug it was. And without support, without medical supervision, without people that are helping you out, the brain and the body and the physical withdrawal combined with the mental withdrawal is it almost always breaks people, because it's like having the worst flu you've ever had times 10, and knowing that that little pill, this little substance, this little bag can take away all those symptoms in 1 second. So it is unbelievably tempting to just say screw it on day 2 or 3 when you're puking your brains out and go get the substance. You know, it's so easy to just, for people that do that, it's not like you're weak by you doing that or it's bad, and I'm not calling you out. I did that a million times. It's just, you know, I'm on the floor throwing up, diarrhea, cold sweats, hot sweats. I can't even make it to the kitchen to get a glass of water. I'm in such pain. And this is gonna last for another 4 or 5 days. But knowing, hey, that little baggie, you do just one of those, all this pain gone immediately. So detoxing at home without that support, without people there, nurses, other people going through it, it's so easy to give in. It is so hard to stop or quit using a substance that you are physically addicted to, mentally addicted to, emotionally addicted to, has become part of everything you do, a ritual, a daily habit. You do it before, during, after everything. To just one day is unbelievably rare. I moved back from Baltimore in January of 2013 with a bad heroin addiction. And my goal was, okay, I'm gonna come home, I'm gonna tell my parents I have the flu, and that'll give me like 4 or 5 days of being sick. I could be sick, and then it'll be out of my body, and I'll be good, I'll be clean, I'll be ready to go. On the second day, first of all, the night before, I think a lot of us do this, when we plan starting tomorrow, I'm gonna do this. Then we go crazy, hog wild the night before, the day before. That makes it that much worse. So I did that. So then the next day I am in so much pain. It's miserable. I'm throwing up, this and that. The second I could get my phone and make that call to see if somebody in town had it, I did it. It wasn't even a thought. It was, I'll figure out a different way to get clean. And a lot of people go through that. We can make all these great plans when we're using, or when we're just in a quote normal state, you know, and then as soon as shit hits the fan and we are sick, puking, miserable, depressed, suicidal, everything goes out the window, and we're ready to just take that substance and get rid of it for a couple hours. Now, one of the third reasons, not one of, but that I know a lot of people that one of the reasons they want to detox at home, is they want to keep it hidden from someone or something. Family members who don't know they have an addiction, wife, husband, kids, mother, father, boss, coworker. You know, they always say stuff like, I don't have time to go to a detox. I can't go to detox. I can't go to the hospital. My work will know. These people will know. That'll know. So first of all, addiction is a disease, and I would compare it to a disease, because it is a disease. If you had cancer, you would tell your family, and then you'd go to the hospital to get the best treatment in most cases. Why wouldn't you want to do the same for addiction? It's not something that just you stop using and it goes away. It doesn't work like that. Second of all, I get the idea of keeping it from family and friends. I went through that. I lived it myself. I totally understand how scary that seems and how awful that could seem. But what I thought was the worst thing in the world, telling my family I have a heroin addiction, was actually the best thing in the world. Because by doing that, I could open up. I was not carrying this burden, this load anymore. All of a sudden, now I have these people who understand the problem, because your family and friends can't help if they don't know what they're trying to help. So now that they know it's not this quasi flu / they thought there was a little bit of drugs, but they had no idea it was heroin. They thought it was a little bit of cocaine and this. Now that they actually know what they're helping to fight, they could help out a lot better. They all supported me trying to help out with work. Almost every state, I'm pretty sure every state now, I didn't go through every one of the laws, but I believe it was a federal mandate. You cannot get fired for telling your boss you have an addiction and you're going to get help. So as far as work, you're not going to get fired for that. Now, the I don't have time reason, I don't have time to take 5 days off and go to detox. I don't have time to take 20 days off and go to inpatient. I got to call bullshit on that one, and myself included, because I said that. I can't afford to take time off work. People will know this and that, and I need the money and this and that. Those are just excuses we're telling ourselves to avoid it. We make time for our alcohol and our drugs all day, every day. Whatever your addiction is, you're making time for that all day, every day. Now you can't make time for sobriety. You can't make time to recover. Second thing is, the I don't have time excuse doesn't work, because there's no quick fix for addiction. This idea that you could just take a couple sick days off, get it out of your system, and everything's going to be back to normal. That doesn't work. That does not happen. That is impossible. It's going to require a lot of work and a extended recovery program. So to try to keep it hidden from everybody and put this facade up and lie and tell ourselves like, okay, I just need a couple days to clean my system out and then everything will be back to normal, you're just going to make it worse because you're lying to yourself. That doesn't work. That never happens. It just doesn't. This substance has become part of us. It doesn't just go away and life's back to normal, finances are great, the kids are great, you're happy. No, unfortunately it doesn't work like that. Come clean and tell everybody is going to help, and then they know, so they could help you make time, create the time. Short and sweet, in my opinion. If you're trying to do an at-home detox to get off a drug or drugs or alcohol, it's not going to work. It's a bad idea. Go to the rehab, go to the detox, go to the hospital, do it the right way. All right? K. Ruggs, the Sober Dog, and I'm out. See ya.